Guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution, and I'm here today to bring you a special message on making amends. So before I get into what we're doing today, I just want to explain. I'm going to be using a passage from this book by Jack Kornfeild called Buddha's Little Instruction Handbook, as well as this book called The Language of Letting Go, Daily Meditations for Codependents. This particular book has helped me as well immensely, and I was guided today to bring this message on making amends. I will also be pulling some cards. I have 3 decks out depending on what we have time for. I have the Crystal Mandala Oracle, which one is this? Journey of Love Oracle, both of those by Alana Fairchild, as well as the Whispers of Love Oracle, just to see whatever we're guided at the time to help move through this energy if you resonate. So guys, for all my subscribers, thank you for being here. It means the world to me. And guys, if you're new, if this resonates with you, please feel free, join the tribe, hit subscribe, let me encounter your energy more often. And if you do feel the need to comment, like if you would like to do that, I absolutely welcome that. If you don't, that's okay too, but just if you are going to, just keep it positive, my friends. Try in your life to focus on the positives as well. We're all going to encounter negative situations in our life, is what I'm already getting in here, and it's up to us and how we deal with this. So there's 2 different passages I want to read before we go through. Know that if I trigger you, if I bring up something that hurts you, if I bring up a positive or negative emotion, if you feel something in your energy centers, bring this into conscious awareness, and how can you use it? So one of the things I like to do, you could journal it as well. If there was a point throughout this that you felt stuck with you, what was this point? What was the most important things that you got from this? How did they resonate with your life? And how can you move through this energy and use this energy to transform your life in the future? So I'm going to first start off with a little passage here that I opened this up. It was what I opened up to, and it was perfect. So, if you knew about the power of a generous heart, you will not let a single meal pass without giving to others. And this is being generous with our love, generous with our offerings, generous with our food, giving to others, giving to those less fortunate, as well as even if we may feel that we don't have a whole lot to give, we may not have anything materially to give. Maybe we don't have enough at our table to invite others around. What we do have is generosity in our heart and love in our heart, and the ability to speak kindly and use words that make other people feel empowered, if nothing less. So that was something I felt was really, really guided here, that your generous heart doesn't necessarily mean that you're constantly giving out monetary things, but sometimes it could mean opening up a can of baked beans and letting someone else come to your table and just making do with a little bit less on your plate. So if that resonated with you guys, take what was for you, take how it applied. And the other message I want to read, there's 2, because they have dates on them. The one for today, discusses new energy coming. Today, God, help me not judge or limit my future by my past. Help me be open to all the exciting possibilities for change, both within and around me. So if there was something, when we were talking about making amends, if there's a situation, a person, a group of people that this you thought of, this could be kind of a message even for you to be like, okay, if this is what I'm thinking of, how can I move forward? So I'm going to read now. I'm not going to read that whole passage. I'm going to read a passage on making amends, because sometimes I also find that when it comes from a book, it's easier for us to go, okay, I can listen to that. That wasn't someone else just talking and rambling on about how they feel and their feelings. This is something that I can listen to, and I can know it comes from an objective standpoint. So if there are people or places or situations where you feel amends needs to come or be made, let's take a listen. So, this is also from August 26th, if there's any significance to that date for you guys as well. I was instructed by Spirit to say that. I'm going to read first off the quote here that is by Step 9 of an Al-Anon, so it's something that somebody in Al-Anon in Step 9 has said. Make direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure or harm them. And that one is important, okay? So I'll read what they have to say. When we make amends, we need to be clear about what we're apologizing for and the best way to say we're sorry. What we are really doing with our amends is taking responsibility for our behavior. We need to be sure that the process itself will not be self-defeating or hurtful. Sometimes we need to directly apologize for a particular thing we have done or our part in a problem. Other times, instead of saying, "I'm sorry," what we need to do is work on changing our behavior with the person. We need to trust timing, intuition, and guidance in this process of making amends. Once we become willing, we can let go and tackle our amends in a peaceful, consistent, harmonious way. If nothing feels right or appropriate, if it feels as if what we are about to do will cause crisis or havoc, we need to trust that feeling. Attitude, honesty, openness, and willingness count here. In peace and harmony, we can strive to clear up our relationships. We deserve to be at peace with ourselves and others. And the meditation here says, today, I will be open to making any amends I need to make with people. I will wait for divine guidance in the process of making any amends that are not clear to me. I will act when led. God, help me let go of fear about facing people and taking responsibilities for my behaviors. Help me know I am not diminishing my self-esteem by doing this. I am improving it. As we work on ourselves, as we grow as individuals, this is what is some of this strength building and what shows our character. Like the book said, and this is where I felt it was so important, when we're making amends for things, sometimes, like the book again says, sometimes bringing this back up could actually hurt someone or damage them more. So the thing here is being connected with your intuitive self, your feminine self, regardless of gender here. This is being connected with your own emotional body as well, and the feelings and the internal guidance that you get. And if you're having trouble making amends with someone, or if there's a situation in your life where you are even thinking about how do I make this right, ask for guidance here. Know that it's better to invite more people to your table than to shut them out. Coming to our life and every situation with love for ourselves and love for others, and as well knowing that if we are trying to make amends and we hurt ourselves or someone else, this is just going to add another problem. So taking the steps forward that you need to do it, but definitely making sure with love, and making sure that as well you cannot control how your apology will land. So know that come to it truthful, come to it open, honest, open heart, radiating heart, and knowing as well we can't control or change the past. We can change our behavior if this is with other people. If it's like, you know what, apologizing just isn't enough, I need to change my behavior. Making those conscious efforts that if the behavior is continuing, you can see it, stop it dead in its tracks, and then right there say, no, step over that hurdle and say, I'm not going to do that anymore. So I'm being asked to bring a message from the Whisper of Love Oracle just to help move through and transition with this making amends. One thing as well as I'm hearing before we do this is if somebody is bringing to you the apology, or they're trying to make amends with you, hear them out. Keep an open mind and an open heart. Sometimes making amends with people doesn't necessarily mean, hey, that we invite them to our table and we let them back in. It means that we acknowledge that they're human, they made a mistake, we accept it, we give them forgiveness, and we move on with our life. It doesn't necessarily mean that, again, they're going to sit at our table. Sometimes it may. And what I'm hearing is like there could be fear, anxiety, and could be rage, could be anger. There are things and emotions attached to some of the things that amends are being made for. So again, moving through those experiences and that energy with grace. So let's see a message from the Whispers of Love Oracle first. We have 3. The first that showed up is forgiveness. Nothing can be gained by holding on to past disappointments. What I'm feeling already here is, if you can see, there's sort of 2 here. One's in rainbow and one is in ice. Water has memory. Water can remember. And when we hold on to things that we need to let go of and we need to forgive, freezes our heart. Try and work through that. Give forgiveness where it needs to be given. Allow yourself to release the hurt energy, release the damaging energy. And if this is you needing to give forgiveness for yourself, sometimes that's the most difficult thing. You can always imagine yourself going back to the point of impact, is what I'll call it, the place where you feel like this is the negative impact that you're trying to make atonement for or amends for. Stop it. Give yourself a hug and say, you know what? That wasn't worth it, and I will never do that again. Okay, giving forgiveness where it needs to go, because past disappointments, they're in the past, right? Remember, the first thing was, for today's energy, new energy's on its way. So we make amends with the past and we move forward with grace and ease. Honesty is essential. To be a loving person, it is important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner. So when we're coming to others to make amends and we want to make apologies or accept apologies, we also need to remember, how are we speaking? Are we doing it in a loving way? Because if we're doing it in a hostile way, we're probably not going to make amends. Sorry about the pointing finger, pointing at myself too, because I'm just as bad. Sometimes we hold everything in so much that we want to talk about it and it doesn't come out in the nicest way. Those are the kinds of things where we want to keep ourselves calm and peaceful, and I heard a state of bliss, knowing that at any point you can keep yourself centered, you can keep yourself calm, regardless of what the situation is around you. The only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus from the problem back to love. And this is the most important thing when we're making amends. We had a problem. We're trying to make amends for it, to bring love to this situation. And bringing peace. You see, it's hard to see these, but there's a rainbow here, and there is doves here, and there's hands as well being held here, and they're standing towards a portal of a new earth, a new world, and a new way of being, and a new way of thinking. So last message, and I may get cut off, guys.